And we are live. It's your boy Treka. It's been a while since I've gone live, but here we are now. I've wanted to do this live video like a week ago, but as you guys know, I was very sick and I lost my voice and I wasn't able to do videos anymore. I was updating you guys with my posts, but today we are back to normal, back on good health, and let's get this live going on. So, what in the actual hell happened in Syria? You know, it's crazy how the Syrian government has gotten overthrown. No one really expected it. No one could ever predicted it. It just happened like this. Like at the beginning of December, suddenly HTS, the armed group, attacked the city of Aleppo in the north and immediately took it over without even a fight. Then the next thing, they took over Hama, then they took over Homs city, and then they reached Damascus. And what is crazy about this to everyone is the way they actually took over all of these cities. They took it without the Syrian army even fighting back. When they first attacked the city of Aleppo, the Syrian army got orders to retreat to Hama, and then they would start the offense from there. Then the next thing, they attacked Hama, then the Syrian army also got other orders, retreat to Homs. And then when those guys attacked Homs, they told them retreat to Damascus. Then when they reached Damascus, they got orders, throw away your weapons, throw away your army suits, and just leave the area. The next thing, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham has taken over the country. And where is the Syrian president Assad? He flew out of the country without telling anybody. He only told like a couple of like close people around him, like 4 or 5 people. But all the generals, the ministers, the people in the presidential palace, even his brother, Maher al-Assad, didn't even know that Assad left the country. And you guys can imagine how crazy the events in Syria happened when all of these happened in like a week, when no one even expected Assad to ever been able to be overthrown. You know, if let's say you were talking about overthrowing the Syrian government back in 2013 and 14, it was very possible. But in 2024, after the Syrian government and army is in control of more than 75% of the country, for it to get overthrown now was like unexpected from everyone. So because everyone keeps on asking me like, who is HTS, who is Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, and who is this new leader that is taking over Syria, Al-Julani? Guys, HTS is a Islamic jihadist armed group. They are terrorists. They are Al-Julani, who is the leader of the HTS, the group that has now taken over Syria, is a former Al-Qaeda member. This guy started as an Al-Qaeda member. Then he moved from Al-Qaeda and then joined ISIS. And then from ISIS, he left and then he joined Jabhat al-Nusra, who are all jihadist, Salafist, extremist, terrorist groups. And then after Jabhat al-Nusra, he formed this group, which is HTS, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. And with this group, he was able to take over the country. But whether we're talking about Al-Qaeda, or we're talking about ISIS, or we're talking about Jabhat al-Nusra, or we're talking about HTS, they may all have different names, but they all share the same Wahhabi ideology. And I've been saying this for many years, and I've been showing videos on who these people are and what they are doing and what their goals are here in Syria. And the day that we all feared to come has finally come. Like, this was the day that most Syrians didn't want. There were many Syrians, millions and millions of Syrians, that wanted to see the Syrian government get overthrown, especially in the last 3 years, because the situation in Syria got very, very bad. But the majority of Syrians never wanted the Syrian government to be replaced with a group like HTS, or to be replaced with someone like Al-Julani. Like you say, oh, for example, oh, Assad is a dictator, so what? You overthrow a dictator and replaced him with a jihadist? Wow, what a accomplishment, you know? But this is the reality, guys, in Syria. Right now, the people that are in power are Islamic extremist jihadists. And what most Syrians are afraid of is them to now implement Sharia law on the country by force, make it an Islamic state where minorities will get oppressed, like the Christian population of Syria, or the Druze, or the Alawites. You have a huge amount of Syrians that are afraid and worried about what is about to happen next to Syria, because anybody that just Googles Al-Julani and they see his history, they would know what kind of person this guy is. He is not a democratic, open-minded, secular person who wants to, you know, open Syria up to become a liberated, country. This guy is a guy that wants to make Syria like the next Afghanistan. This is my prediction. Now, if you go out and watch his interviews, all the interviews that he's going out and he's talking about, he's saying, no, all the minorities are going to be protected. We are going to, protect the Christians and the Druze and the Alawites and the Armenians and the Kurds, and none of them are going to be touched, and they're all going to have all their rights and so on. But that is yet to be seen. I'm going to be open and have wishful thinking that, hopefully that's what he does. But like me personally, as someone that has been following, as a Syrian who lived throughout the war and someone that has been watching politics throughout all these years, I don't really look at what people say as much as I look at what people do, So after the Syrian government got overthrown, chaos in the country happened. Chaos. There was chaos. There is no more law. There is no more army. There is no more police. People are running away from their lives. Others are celebrating. It's chaos. It's like a jungle. So you started seeing videos of people looting banks, looting stores, looting shops. People went to the presidential palace and they were looting the hell out of it, stealing chairs and couches and tables and TVs and statues and stuff like that. They even went to the Assad's house, the Syrian president. They went to his house. They stole everything in that house. They even took his underwear, his clothes. They were doing videos showing Assad's pants. They stole everything in his house. They saw his garage. It turned out he had a garage that has like Ferraris and Bentleys and Mercedes and BMW. Like he had like 40 cars there, The jihadists went to Assad's dad's and mom's and brother's tombs and they burnt it. Like they went to where his dad, brother and mom were buried and they pulled out the tomb and they burnt it and they were filming it and they were celebrating. I'm telling you guys, chaos is happening in Syria. Chaos. And while all of this, not only that, so after that, they went to the prisons of Syria and they freed all the prisoners in Syria from all the jails. Any jail they would free all the prisoners. And that even brought a lot of light to a prison in Damascus countryside called Saydnaya. And they were showing you how terrible, the situation in Saydnaya is, and how a lot of prisoners were living in terrible conditions, which I of course agree. Like the situation in the prison in Saydnaya was like terrible, how like inhumane the many prisoners were treated. But there was something that really caught my eye. I don't know if you guys saw this video or not, but CNN did a story about this Saydnaya prison. And you know, when they opened up this prison and they freed all these prisoners, there were a lot of people that took pictures and videos of prisoners, dead prisoners there, the rooms, how dirty the rooms were and how like small the rooms were, and they were packing like 50 people there and all of that. There was a lot of footage and pictures and videos that showed how, like, you know, bad the situation was in the prison of Sednaya. But instead of CNN to just use those like real footages of the prison and broadcast it to the audience, they decided to stage a fake story of freeing a prisoner there for, I don't know why, for either for clout, or I think maybe that they're just so used to being fake news that they were like, you know what, why should we just report the real story, which is already horrific? Let us, you know, stage a video. So there is literally a video for CNN that they go, this is after like couple of days of where the whole prison is free, the prison is empty. So the fact that they were able to find a prisoner in one room, to me, is crazy, because that whole prison was freed. But suddenly there is a room in that prison that was untouched. There's even a lock on the door of that prison. And then the CNN host, what's her name? I keep on forgetting. Let me check it for you. What's her name? So anyway, so they go to the prison, and the door is locked with a padlock. And then she asks one of like the armed people in the prison, can you shoot the lock of the door of this prison room so that we can open it? And then the guy said, yeah, okay. So he shoots it. This is all on video. Just write on YouTube, CNN, Sednaya prison in Syria. So the armed guy shoots the prison door, opens it. They open the door, they see an empty room, and there is like a cover just on the ground, and they can't really tell if there is a human being there or if it is just a blanket. So they all kept on saying, hello, hello, and then no one is answering. And then the camera people are here, the microphone people here, the journalist is there. The guy is still sleeping suddenly. You know, they even shut the door, but suddenly the guy is still sleeping. And if you listen very closely to the video, there is a moment where the guy says, go. And then when you hear the word go, suddenly the guy comes out of the prison. I was like, no, please don't touch me. What's going on? Oh, who are you? And then they're like, no, don't worry, my child. We are freeing you, my darling. Don't worry, life is good, and we're here for you. And then the guy starts holding her hand, and he's like shivering, like in fear. And like any person with any sense can see so clearly that the video is staged and this guy is acting, because number one, the prisoner says he's been in this prison for 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months in this prison, and he's been 3 to 4 days without food or water. And the guy is energetic and talk. Imagine you haven't eaten in 4 days and you haven't drank water in 4 days, but you still have energy to talk, and you're holding her hand and you're going. And the next thing, I want you guys to watch that video and notice his nails. His nails look like my nails, like recently cut. How have you been in jail for 4 months and your nails are clipped? Like it looked like you clipped them 2 days ago. Like, how does that even make sense? You were telling me that, okay, the Syrian prisons were giving you nail clippers because they care about your hygiene, but they don't care about the hygiene of the room. So there were a lot of like red flags that anybody that would watch would be like, CNN is doing this whole fake news shit again. And for what? Like, I don't even understand. Why would you even do a fake story about it when you could have used like real footage and real pictures of like prisoners and how bad the situation was? Why would you even stage it? And then the last telling thing for me that like assured me that this whole video is fake is when they take the prisoner out of the jail. You know, for someone who has been in a dark room for 4 months, when you go out and the sun hits your face, you do this, you flinch because your eyes is not used to the bright light. Bro, the guy was looking at the sun like this He was like this, the sky, I miss this. Like he's looking at the sun and the sky like this. His eyes not even flinching. Like, I don't know. The guy is a terrible actor, and CNN is a terrible news agency for them to even do a story like that. They're just proving to everybody once again why Trump was calling them fake news and why he was right about that. So anyway, this is just one story. The problem is there are a lot of things that I want to talk about, guys. Like, honestly, I miss you guys. And I know you guys miss me and you guys have been messaging me, but this week I've been very sick. I had something like infection in the throat, but then I had fatigue and joint pain and muscle pain. And the doctors couldn't tell if I had COVID or if I had malaria. I was like fever. I lost my voice. I couldn't come out and do this. So today I'm doing this live video. I'm just gonna say everything and I'm gonna answer your questions. I'm gonna update you with what is going on, and moving forward, there'll be more frequent videos coming back, just like the old days, you know? So, now people are asking, like, this Jolani guy, like, who is he? What is he going to do? This guy, I told you, this guy is the founder of Al-Qaeda. The founder of Al-Qaeda. And then from Al-Qaeda, he moved to ISIS. From ISIS, he moved to Jabhat al-Nusra. From Jabhat al-Nusra, he moved to HTS now. This guy has a lot of blood on his hands. He's a fanatic, extremist, Salafist, murderer. You understand? This is who is now in control in Syria. And everyone has, throughout the years, everyone has always known him as Al-Julani. But now they're calling him Al-Shara. He has, rebranded. He has recreated his image. He is now the open-minded brother from the hood, keeping it real. Check it out, secular Syria. You know what I'm talking about. That's the rebranding that him and the mainstream media, are trying to fool the people with. Like, usually he always wears his white galabiya. Now he's wearing suits. He used to ride a camel. Now he's riding Mercedes. They're trying to rebrand him. And also one thing, for the longest time, Jolani was under the American government want list. They said, we need this guy, dead or alive, and whoever is able to capture Al-Julani, this terrorist, we're going to pay him $10 million. This is the American government. They have already put him as a terrorist, and they want, for him, anybody that captures him will get $10 million reward. And today, what did the American government do? What did Joe Biden do today? He removed him out of the terrorist list. This is the American government, guys. The American government today removed Al-Julani from the terrorist wanted list. Like, please make that make sense. Make that make sense, Whether you love Assad or you hate him or whatever, replacing him with someone like Al-Julani is not going to bring any improvement to the country. Like, how is that a level up? Why don't you elect someone who is like a open-minded person with, modern ideas? Guys, you have to remember something. Syria is a very multi-religious and ethnic country. We have many religions in Syria. We have Muslim Sunnis, Muslim Shias, we have Alawis, we have Christians Orthodox, we have Christian Catholics, we have Druze, we have people from different ethnicities like the Armenians, like the Kurds. You can't govern them all with an Islamic state Sharia law kind of law. Nothing against Muslims, of course, and nothing against any of that. We love all our Syrians, brothers and sisters, regardless from their religion. But me, I'm just saying, you have a country and you have this much diverse population, different religions, different ethnicities, different backgrounds. You have people that are Muslims that are religious and practicing Muslims. You have Muslims in Syria that drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes. So you have different shades. You have Christians that are religious and every Sunday they go to church, and you have Christians that have never read the Bible, So you can't govern all these people with Sharia law. It will not work. It will not work. And this is a remedy for civil war. This is a remedy for oppression. This is a remedy for women losing their rights. There have already been videos. I've been posting them, and I'm going to post more. There have been videos of these armed jihadists going to liquor stores and breaking every single bottle in it. Because to them, alcohol is haram. It's not allowed. You know? They're breaking liquor stores. There are people that are attacking Christian churches and Christian temples and Christian areas. And then when people complain to the new government in Syria that this is what these people are happening, do you know what Al-Jolani's people would say? They'll be like, oh yeah, these are individual acts. They don't represent us. These are individual acts. It's like, how many freaking individual acts is going to happen for you to take responsibility of what is happening in the country, you know? And look, this is the thing. The thing is this. It is very, very chaotic. Right now in Syria, it is chaos. You are living in a jungle. Meaning, you have people from HTS that are actually standing with Christians, lighting the Christmas trees, and they're clapping and they're celebrating, and they're like, yes, do your thing, and we're not gonna oppress any of you. And then you have people from other sides that are doing the opposite. You have people that will say, no, women are should cover themselves, and alcohol should not be allowed. And then you have others that will be like, no, we're not going to interfere in women's clothing, and we are not going to, oppress any minority in Syria. So it's like, who is who, and who are you going to believe? Me as a Syrian, I don't look out for what people say. I look at what people do. Me, I already know who Al-Julani is. I already know his history. This guy has killed many Syrians because of his ideology. This guy has oppressed many people because of his ideology. He is a Salafist. This is the truth. And then look at the people that he is appointing in the Syrian government now. They call it a temporary government until the real election around March. All the people that he's appointing to the government and to the ministries are all jihadists. They are all jihadists. All you see, beard, no mustache, Allahu Akbar, and like that. You can't do that to the country. You can't. This is destroying Syria. And do you know what is crazy about all of this? But guys, I have a lot of things to say, so this live video is going to be very intense, and also please feel free to ask me a question in the comments. When I get down to the comments, I'll be answering all your questions, and I promise you to be doing more frequent live videos. Because for the last 3 years, nothing significant has been happening in Syria. After we liberated 70% of the cities, we sent most of the jihadists to a city called Idlib, and then suddenly there was a ceasefire for 3 years when nothing was happening in Syria. Just people were suffering every single day from the cruel economic sanctions, and people were dying of hunger, and we had electricity problems, electricity shortage, water shortage, bread shortage, no gas, no fuel, no jobs, no high-paying jobs. The Syrians in the last 3 years, they've been just slowly getting suffocated, to the point that even now, people don't even have the energy to fight. People don't have the energy to complain. Look at how crazy it is. While all of this chaos was happening, when Al-Julani and HTS were taking over, do you know what was happening in Syria? Israel started occupying lands slowly in Syria. Slowly. And then after they occupied lands, do you know what they did? They attacked and striked all our military bases, destroyed all our weapons, destroyed all our air defenses, destroyed the port, every single area that the Syrian government had weapons, they destroyed it. What does that mean? It means that Syria has lost, its leadership. As a country now, even if any country decides to attack us, we don't even have weapons to defend ourselves anymore. Every single military base is destroyed. Every single military, all our airplanes, our rockets, our air defense, all of them got destroyed. And then Israel now, it's roaming around in the lands of Syria. And no one said anything. And Jolani didn't even say anything. HTS didn't say anything. The international community didn't say anything. Silence from the international community. Silence. So can you imagine what is going on in Syria? This is a very worrying time. And the thing is that you have Syrians, they are really split into half. You have Syrians that are very happy and celebrating and optimistic. And you have Syrians that are worried and upset about the situation. And you have people that are optimistic and worried at the same time. So it is a waterfall of emotions where a Syrian is going through, because now there are many things and signs that are happening in the country that you can say are positive things to the country, meaning there are many countries that are saying now they are going to lift the economic sanctions of Syria, which is obviously a good thing. We've all been fighting for the economic sanctions to be lifted because it was never hurting the Syrian government and it was only hurting the Syrian people. So the economic sanctions, if they really get lifted by the West and NATO countries and the Gulf and all of these countries, well, if they lift the economic sanctions, our economy will start improving. Second of all, there are many countries that now are talking about reopening their embassies in Syria. Even the French embassy got opened. They even raised the French flag. There are many other countries that are soon going to start opening their embassies in Syria. Qatar is saying they're going to invest like, I don't know how many millions of dollars in our banks. So you have these things that are happening that are making people be like, oh wow, maybe, you know, maybe this is a good future, you know, maybe it's not gonna be bad after all, you know. They changed the Syrian police cars to like brand new cars, brand new ambulance. They even got, I think, like airplanes that are like modern, and like a lot of people are like, countries are beginning to invest in Syria. So this is a good thing, but at the same time, if Al-Julani is going to implement his ideologies on the country and govern it with his backward thinking, Syria is going to be the Syrian people are going to be oppressed. They're going to be oppressed. Nobody is going to be able to talk. You wouldn't have freedom of speech. Women wouldn't have equal rights. There was one of the appointees that Jolani appointed to the government when he was doing one of his speeches. Do you know what he was saying? He was like, yeah, I don't think women are gonna include women in the government because, wait for it, because women are not biologically fit for like political stuff. Like he actually said that. And since he said that, thousands of Syrians have been going out and protesting every single day, including today and yesterday and the day before. They've been protesting every single day, asking for a free, secular, liberal Syria. They don't want an Islamic state. They want it to stay secular. They want it to be democratic. They want it to be free. You know, where everyone is treated equally. Men, women, Muslim, Jews, Druze, Christians, whichever. If you're a Syrian, you should have the same exact rights. And no one should be able to interfere in your freedom of choice, you know? This is what now is happening in Syria. People are protesting against this, you know, ideology. And you have people that are going out in the street and celebrating. So this is a very sensitive time for Syria right now, that any small thing could create chaos. Any small thing could create chaos. And that is why me personally, I worry about Syria, because of course I love my country like every other Syrian. And I am worried that it's going to get destroyed, because right now we have lost our leadership. We have lost our leadership. We know Turkey is in control of Syria. America now is going to get control of Syria. Israel is going to get control of Syria. And then everyone is like, Syria is going to be like a cake where everybody wants to have their own piece. If they're gonna plan to destroy Syria, this is how they are going to do it. And I'm gonna remind you later when this happens. What I fear is going to happen is that if, let's say, more chaos and bloodshed happen, or like a civil war, Syria is going to get divided. And how is that going to happen? Turkey is going to take the north. Turkey is going to be in control of like cities like Idlib, like Aleppo, and so on. America is going to be in control of the Kurdish areas, aka the oil fields. Because look, if you want to find where American military bases always are, ask where in this map is there oil fields. When they point to the oil field area, you know that is where the American military base is. So the American military is going to take areas like Al-Hasake, where the Kurds are, because that's where the oil is. Israel is going to take the south. Israel will take areas like Qanetra, will take areas like Al-Suwaida, and then be like, oh yeah, now this is mine. It's mine, you know, like they always do. So this is what I fear is going to happen, and we Syrians need to be very awake of everything that is about to happen in Syria, because look guys, this can turn out to be maybe the best thing for Syria, and at the same time this could turn out to be another Libya, another Iraq, and another Afghanistan. And my brain is telling me this is going to turn out to be another Libya and another Iraq, because the signs are that the same shit that was happening in Iraq is happening in Syria. At first people were happy and celebrating, and yes, oh finally we got rid of the dictator, and suddenly we're soon going to have freedom. And then look at Iraq, till now they're suffering from terrorism. This is not what I want for my country. I want my country to finally, you know, breathe. You know, the Syrian people have suffered a lot. People, imagine living in a country, a war zone for 14 years. 14 years of your life. Me, when the war in Syria started, I was 18 years old. Look at me now, I'm 49. It's crazy. No, I'm not 49. I'm 31, but you get my point. 14 fucking years of my life, you know, war. And you have many people in the Syrian army that died. You have people that were against the Syrian army that died. You have people that had nothing to do with holding weapons. They were just walking in the street. Suddenly a rocket fell on them and they died. You know, a lot of people have suffered from this war. And I believe that the Syrian people really deserve another chance in life. So it's not that, okay, we got rid of the Assad family and now, okay, you're putting an ISIS and Al-Qaeda member in charge of the country. No, I would have Assad over Al-Julani every single day without a doubt. Like, that's how bad Al-Julani is. So I also believe, guys, that Al-Julani is a controlled opposition. Like, I really believe he takes all his orders from Turkey. He takes all his orders. Like, if America and Turkey and Israel tells him, hey, do this, he will do it by force. If they told him sit down, he will sit down. If they tell him stand up, stand up. If they tell him go and shave your mustache, make a goatee, he will do it. He's not independent. He's controlled by them, because these countries were the countries that were funding him, sending him money, weapons, arming him, you know. Because even now, when you look at HTS, they're not all Syrians. They're not all Syrians. If you can speak Arabic, if you go on YouTube, write HTS, like watch videos of them. You would find people from Afghanistan in Syria fighting with Al-Julani, people from Iraq, people from Libya, people from Saudi Arabia, people from China, people from Europe. They're all joining, because it doesn't matter the nationality as much as it matters the ideology. If you have that Islamic Wahhabi extremist ideology, you can easily be part of HTS. You come, you do jihad, you kill in the name of Allah, and then if you succeed, then we win. If they kill you, then you go to heaven to your 72 virgins. So it's like a win-win situation, you know. That's how they think, you understand? So these are the people that took over. And you have, like, it's so conflicting, because you have people from HTS saying, I promise you guys, nothing is going to happen to the minorities and to women, and everyone is going to have full rights. And then you have other people that are saying, we're going to fucking kill all of you. So who do you believe? And it's happening. Like, you have people killing and destroying and oppressing, and you have other people that are protecting and accepting and loving. Like, even them amongst each other, they don't agree with each other. You know? So like, then what? So there is nothing right now that we can do except sit down and wait and see what happens in the upcoming future. Like, things are happening so fast right now that you can never really tell. Like, no one expected Assad to be overthrown. No one. There is no person that you would have told him, hey, do you know what, that in 2 weeks time, before December ends, before half of December reaches, Assad is going to be overthrown. People are like, bro, you're crazy. They're like, that's not realistic. How? That doesn't make sense. But it happened. So anything can happen right now. We are living in a chaotic time in Syria. This could go to the worse, or this could go to the better. And I hope it goes to the better, but I would have been way more optimistic if the leadership was someone else and not Al-Julani. If it was someone else, like a fucking engineer or a professor or someone that, you know, is college educated and has traveled and seen the world and is patriotic and all of that, I would have been optimistic. I'd be like, you know what, maybe it really is time for a change, you know? But the fact that they are the ones in power is what is troubling me. So, yeah, guys, that is what has been happening in Syria. That is what has been happening in Syria. And I can tell you that the majority of the Syrian people are happy that Assad left, because the way he ran away was very bad. Like, in other words, the majority of Syrians that supported him, or the army, or the people that were in government, they all felt abandoned. Like, this guy just left us. Like, what the hell? Like, he was, if a Syrian army was under fire and ran away from the country and didn't serve the military, the Syrian government will call him a traitor. Like, how would you run away from your responsibility when we needed you to be a soldier and you ran away like a coward? But then, I mean, Assad did the same thing. When they reached Damascus, he flew away, he ran away. And that made a lot of Syrians lose respect for him. Like, how can you do that? We sacrificed our lives, we died for you. All my children that were in the army that got killed, but we said, you know what, it's for a better cause, and we're fighting we're resisting, you know, the West, and we're resisting ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and we're doing this for the country and for the future of our children and our children's children. For him to just carry his bags and run away like that, it's not acceptable by any patriotic Syrian. If I was him, I would have died. You know, like Scarface, the movie, where they're inside his palace and it was like, say hello to my little friend, you know? And just fight till the end like a man. Don't run away like a pussy. So yeah, that's what I believe. Yeah, it's very disappointing, and the only thing we can do now is wait and see what is going to happen to Syria. Anyway, guys, I think that's about it for now. I'll be posting more videos now, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to write on the comments section. Write any question you want, anything you need to know, I'll answer. And yeah, so Tina's saying Assad is in Russia. Yeah, he's in Russia now with his family. He ran like with his children were studying there, and his wife is there. He's in Russia currently, true. Jonathan Carter is saying brain dead Biden is an absolute disaster for everyone. This is not fair for anyone. I pray Trump can help stabilize the situation in Syria. Bro, Biden removed Jolani from the terrorist list. Can you imagine, like, what? How? Like, I don't understand how is that possible? You remove, he's not a terrorist anymore because he changed his name and he wore a tuxedo? I mean, what the hell? This guy has blood on his hands, not only in Syria and Iraq. He started in Iraq, and then from Iraq he came to Syria. What the hell? How can Biden is crazy? Like, I'm so glad this guy is out of America. He is by far one of the most useless American presidents in the history of America. And I'm also glad that Kamala lost, because even that woman was also lost. Like, they'll be asking us serious political questions about policies, and she will just be like, like, that's her answer for every like important political question. Thank God she's not president. Belinda saying lots of love, Treka. Thank you so much, Belinda, and thank you guys for always supporting me. You guys are the best. I really missed doing our live videos and stuff, but you know, here we are. We are back again. Chris Merritt is saying, thank you. The USA needs your perspective on what is really going on. Yes, and I'll be doing more videos, and you guys keep on telling me if there are topics you guys want me to talk about and explain more. Now that my health is finally back, I'll be updating you guys more frequently. So yeah. Tackling is saying Kaklin Kamala. Charles Dorff is saying calling Biden an idiot is kind of like calling the adversary an idiot. I mean, bro, Biden is an idiot. He really is. Like, from the first month of his presidency, you saw what he did. He pulled out of Afghanistan. Next thing, the Taliban took over. And look at now, Syria, Al-Qaeda took over. And he's removing him from the terrorist list because, you know, like, come on. Like, tell me that America is not benefiting from all of this. I think, do you know why they removed him off the terrorist list? I'm going to explain exactly why they did that. And thank you for bringing that up. Bro, when he took over, Israel attacked us. Israel occupied our land, and Israel bombed us. Not a single word did Jolani say, and not a single bullet did they throw back at Israel. And they call themselves patriotic and blah, blah. A country is attacking your country. A country is occupying your other country. If you don't defend your land, are you really a patriot? So anyway, they waited and to see, like, what is going to be his reaction. Is he going to attack Israel? Is he going to stay silent? Is he going to condemn? Is he going to... They saw that he didn't say anything. He didn't fight back. He didn't throw one bullet. They were like, this is the first good sign, okay? Then they sent all the journalists like CNN and BBC and all these people, and they asked him, like, what are you gonna do with Israel, and what are you gonna do? And it was like, we have no intention in starting any war with Israel, and we have no problem with Israel, and like, there's not gonna be an issue between us and Israel. So I think after him saying that, then America was like, okay, so now he's not going to, you know, molest my girlfriend, so let me remove him off the terrorist list and let me remove the sanctions. Good boy. Yeah, take, this is a candy. Hey, bite on this cookie. You know, they're happy. So that's what I mean by saying that the Syrian government, Syria as a country has lost its leadership, because now, unfortunately, we are going to be controlled by the countries that fund us and the countries that fund our economy and the countries that were supporting his jihadist group throughout all these years. So countries like Turkey, like Israel, like America, like Qatar, all these countries, Saudi Arabia, they call the shots now, not the Syrian people anymore. So we lost our identity in a way. Taken is saying we can't say who we are fighting this proxy war for without being name called. Thomas saying, bro, this is much more educating than any listening news or reporter. Bro, because I'm the best. I'm the best, bro. But bro, look, you think I'm happy? You think I'm happy I'm doing this? I wish I will reach to the point where I don't have to come out and do videos about Syria, because then Syria would be in a good place. But I can't. I have a big mouth. I have a big mouth. I know myself, and I'm patriotic, and I love my country, and I love my people. I can't just be sitting down watching and seeing what is going on and happening to my country and to stay silent. And many people from my friends and my family and the people that I know were telling me, Treka, don't come out and talk. Don't come out and talk. Don't come out and criticize Al-Julani. Don't come out and say anything bad. Don't come out and expose. Keep your mouth shut and don't say anything. Because if you do that, then your life is going to be in danger. They're going to target you. You won't be able to enter Syria anymore. They might... But I couldn't stay silent. I couldn't stay silent. Like, I felt like something like this. I was going to die. And here I am. I'm talking. I don't care anymore. You know? What needs to be said needs to be said. Everybody has the right to know what is really going on in Syria. Who are these people? What happened? Why is this happening? Who is funding them? Who's benefiting from it? What could possibly happen in the future? We all need to fucking know this shit. Someone is saying Treka should be your first source of news for Syria. He speaks facts. Thank you guys for the support. I really, really appreciate you. And by the way, I'm gonna put a PayPal link in the description of this live video. You guys can also help like supporting by donating. This will help me, you know, even like I'm thinking of like actually building like a podcast where I'm gonna be doing like podcasts and lengthy, you know, videos, doing interviews with people about politics, America, comedy, interviews. It's going to be like very, very nice. So I'll put the link in the description, and you guys can support by donating how much, whatever you guys are able to. But yeah, this is what is going on in Syria, and we need to keep a very close eye on the small things that are happening, because all these small things that are happening are very telling, you know. And the only thing that I can advise you guys, which is very important, is never ever listen to what a politician is saying and look at what he does, because talk is cheap. He can come out and be like, no, we're going to protect the Christians and the women can wear bikinis, and yes, you can drink alcohol, habibi, no problem. That is not what matters. What matters is when those people do it, what happens to them? Do they get killed? Do they get jailed? Do they get harassed? That's the question. So it's the actions that matter and not the words. Look, let me show you something. Wait, how do I even flip this shit? Okay. So see guys, this was yesterday in an Orthodox archbishop in the city of Hama. These motherfuckers went to a Christian area, and look what they did to the statues of like Mary, the cross, how they broke it. Look, this is literally yesterday. Look at the cross. Look how they're breaking things. See, can you imagine? Like, how disrespectful is that? How disrespectful. Like, why would you even do that? Why would you even do that? If you guys were even real Muslims, if you guys were really real Muslims, you would know to respect Christians, because in Islam, Christianity is very well respected. And Jesus is looked upon as one of the greats, same as Mary. So for you guys to even break the cross and the Mary statues and the churches, you guys don't even represent Islam. You guys represent the extremist ideology of the Wahhabism. You guys don't even represent true Muslims, because the Syrian Muslims, the moderates and the normal ones, are not like that. None of them would agree on this bullshit that is happening. But like I am telling you guys, these people, most of them are not even Syrians. That is what is driving me crazy. Most of them are not Syrians. They're coming from everywhere. They're They'll tell them, you believe in jihad? You want to do jihad for Islam? They'll be like, yes. They'll be like, come join us. We'll give you money. We'll give you food. You want to marry? We'll give you 4 wives. And whenever you get bored of the 4, divorce, and we'll make you marry another 4. Money is around. Turkey is paying. America is paying. Saudi Arabia is paying. Qatar is paying. We got money, baby. Like, that's what is happening in Syria. Guys, I'm about to go crazy. Can you imagine? It's not acceptable. Damascus is mentioned in the Bible. Damascus is mentioned in the Bible. You can't just oppress Christians like that. You can't oppress minorities like Druze. Even if Assad comes from a minority group called the Alawis, you should not even oppress the Alawis. They are people. Are all Alawis the Syrian government? No. So you can't do that. You can't. And that is just a remedy for a civil war. That is a remedy for civil war. They are going to start killing everybody. All of these people are going to end up arming themselves and are going to fight you, and then you're going to fight back. Then you will kill 10 from them, then they will kill 20 from you, then you will kill 50. And then that's how the civil war starts all over again. We go back to point one. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. Let's see now also when Donald Trump gets in power, let's see what policies he's going to, implement on Syria. I remember he killed Jolani's best friend, al-Baghdadi. So let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what is going to happen. But yeah, guys, do you guys have any other questions? You know what? Speaking of the CNN video that I was talking about earlier, maybe my next video will be that. And it will be more comedic and funny. It will make you guys laugh, but at the same time, it will expose to you who CNN really is and why they have lost credibility worldwide a long time ago. So yeah, guys, that's about it. It was really fun talking to you guys. I promise you I'll be doing more live videos. It will be more frequent. And I'm really planning on building, a podcast. I'll have a room, I'll have all the equipments, the mics, the cameras, all of this stuff. I'll build a podcast and it will become a weekly thing where you guys can be, showing up, watch, updates, all of this stuff. And it wouldn't be just about Syria, to be also about American, international, politics and events and stuff like that. Did you guys even hear about what happened today in Germany? The madman that drove a car into a crowd of people shopping for Christmas. And he killed, I don't know how many, they're saying almost 50, if not more. It's crazy, the world, what is happening right now. It's crazy. Andrea saying all mainstream media has lost credibility. I don't watch any news. Me too. I stopped watching because to me, I know that every single mainstream media is controlled. It's controlled. Even in America, you guys, your mainstream media is controlled. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that CNN and MSNBC are controlled by the Democrats. And you don't have to be a smartass to know that Fox News is controlled by the Republicans. You watch Fox News, all they do is attack Democrats and liberals, and every Republican is an angel. Then you go to CNN and MSNBC, it's the same thing, vice versa. Every Republican is a fascist, a racist, a whatever, and they are the cute angels. It's all biased. It's all really biased. You can't really find any independent, unbiased news anymore where somebody can just be objective and tell you this is what is going on, this is the good stuff, this is the bad. See, with me, I told you there are good stuff that happened with this Jolani people, the business and the economic sanctions being lifted, and them bringing new equipments where now we have bread and gas and new cars and new ambulances. Of course, this is by the help from the puppeteers, But still, it's good for the country if this is going to... And also, he also said that the Syrian people's salaries is going to be increased 400%. The Syrian people's salary is going to be increased 400%. That is amazing, because people in Syria were living below the poverty line. Me, when I was in Syria, I was working 3 to 4 jobs every month, and I was suffering. 3 to 4 jobs, and I was not able to pay my bills. That's how bad the economic situation was in Syria. So that's why you have a lot of Syrians celebrating, because like they've really suffered. And also one of the main reasons why the Syrian army was retreating, there were many people from the Syrian army that when HTS attacked, they didn't want to fight back. They were like, bro, it's been 14 years of me always fighting back. I don't have the energy anymore. I'm tired. I am hungry. I am poor. My future has been destroyed. I've been in this army for 14 years non-stop. I'm not allowed to leave. I am in my mid-30s now. My life has, my youth has been destroyed. You know, they say that you have to build your future in your 20s till like your mid-30s. This is the time where you really need to hustle and work hard, because that's when you have your energy to really be productive and creative. That whole years of the Syrians that were in the Syrian army is gone. Now, even now, the people that in the Syrian army that now left and are no longer soldiers, they're like 35, uneducated, or they don't have any, like, even if they want to apply for a company, like if they tell you, okay, give me your resume or your CV, what are your past experiences? They didn't work in any company. They've been in the crossfire all these years. So like, that's how sad the situation is in Syria. You would sit down 5 hours without electricity for the electricity to come 1 hour. In this 1 hour, you would see how we would behave. In this 1 hour of electricity, we would all run, charge our phones, charge our laptops. If we wanted to heat food, we'd heat it in the microwave. If we want to put anything in the fridge just so that we can have a little bit of cold water, we'll try to hurry up in this 1 hour to do everything. By the time it's time for us to sit down and relax, the electricity have already got cut again. Then it's another 5 hours without electricity. And there'll be times where it will be 4 hours no electricity and 2 hours electricity. But that's not a life. That's not a life to live. Imagine maybe you can tolerate it for like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 1 year, 2 years. But 14 years, you are going to reach the point where you're like, dude, let King Jong-un take over, and I would agree. Just something different than this situation. I can't withstand this anymore. I really tried. It's been 14 years and I tried. I really tried, and I resisted, and I fought, and I tolerated, and I accepted, and I did all of this. But after a point, you're going to reach the point where like, bro, I cannot breathe. I cannot anymore. It's over. Khalas, I can't. And that's what happened. That is what happened to the Syrian people. It's not easy. I mean, you guys remember, how many times will I be doing live videos, and in the middle of the live video, the light will just cut off. You guys will be talking to you guys will be listening to a black screen. Like you can only see traces of my eye from the light of my phone. How many live videos have I done that is like that? Like, that's how bad the situation was. And then you have people that the houses got destroyed, the shops got destroyed, and it's in the middle of winter, in the middle of the snow, and they're outside in the street because they don't have a place to stay. Suffering. So it's like, now people can't. People are like, dude, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to resist anymore. Say whatever you want to say about me. Say I'm a coward, I'm a traitor. I don't care anymore. I just want to have a good life for me and my kids and my family. I don't care about politics anymore. I don't want to fight. I don't want to hold a weapon. I don't want to do any of that. This is what happened to the majority of the Syrian people after 14 years. If you would ask a Syrian 10 years ago, what are you going to do? They'll be like, I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight for I'm going to do this. No way. Now talk to a Syrian person, he'll be like, bro, I don't care anymore. It's not that I don't care anymore. It's like, I don't have it in me anymore. They've dried me to the last drop. I am a alive person that is dead. I am dead from inside. That is what happened to the Syrian people. Very sad, but it's the truth. Look at the size of the airstrike that Israel bombed in Tartus. This is on the 16th of December 2024. Look at the size of this explosion. Do you know that they said this explosion was recorded like as if it's an earthquake? It's like the biggest hit that this region has witnessed in decades. Like that's how bad this explosion was. Wait, let me read. They said the Telegraph wrote that a 3.1 magnitude tremor was reported by Geographic Survey of Israeli Seismology Department at 11:49 on Sunday night in the region of the bombings. 3.1 magnitude. This is in the coastal city of Tartus. This is where the Russian naval base was located. The strike on Tartus resulted in the single biggest explosion seen in Syria in years, unleashing a fireball and mushroom cloud so large it led to quick speculation it could have been a tactical nuke, which widespread reports are denying. In total, there have been an estimated 600 Israeli strikes over the course of 8 days. Some of them began immediately upon Al-Qaeda HTS entering the environs of Damascus as President Assad fled the country. Someone is asking, why did Israel attack Syria? Because Israel and Syria have been enemies for so long. Don't forget that there is a Syrian city called Golan Heights, which Israel occupied. So they've always been that back and forth between Syria and Israel, you know? And Syria was a country supporting and funding like resistance groups against like Israeli occupation and stuff. So after the Assad government got overthrown, of course, this is a huge celebration for Israel because now suddenly they don't have an enemy in this country anymore, which is a country on the border of Israel. So they were like, you know what, just for us to make sure, you know, that there cannot be any other threats coming from this country anymore. Because what if Al-Julani tomorrow decides to attack us? So let us destroy all the military bases, all the weapons, all the rockets, all the airstrikes, all the ports, everything that has to do with military. Let us bomb it all so that in case in the future we feel like occupying or attacking or doing anything, the Syrian country and government will not even be capable of fighting back. They will not be able to fight us, and they would not be able to defend themselves if we decide to attack them first. So now we are like, what's the word? We're like decapitated. And you know, any country that doesn't have a military, doesn't have an army, doesn't have like weapons, bro, people can come with slippers and conquer us. People can come with stick and they can occupy our land. We don't have weapons anymore. We don't have airstrikes. We don't have air defense. We don't have airplanes. We don't have tank. We don't have anything. They have destroyed us economically, militarily. We have no leadership. They have put a puppet as president. And now whatever the West wants and Turkey wants, the Syrian government will do. And all of this, the Syrian people are willing to accept it if we live in peace, where the economy is good and people are able to make money and live a good life. But if we're going to be living in a war and we're going to be controlled and governed by ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and on top of that, our economy is bad and we have no leadership, people are going to rebel again. People are going to rebel and they're going to overthrow the government. Because people are already protesting now. People are protesting now that they don't want an Islamic state. They want a secular, free, democratic country. Especially after one of Jolani's people he appointed in the government was saying that women are not going to be part of the government because they are biologically unfit to be part of the government. Who the hell talks like that? It's literally 2024 and you're saying women. See, it would be funny if a comedian said that, because that would be funny as a joke, you know, to make the feminists angry. That yeah, women, you guys are not biologically, you know, advanced to even handle politics. If I was watching a stand-up comedy show and I heard someone say that, I would laugh because it's a comedian, so I get the intention, you know. But if it is a government official saying that, that is scary, guys. That is not funny at all. So yeah. all of this happened in 10 days. Can you imagine, guys? 10 days. All of this stuff that I'm telling you about is happening in 10 days. So guys, listen, like I told you, I'm gonna round this up now. Please make sure to share this video. Make sure to follow me on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, all under the name Treka Z. So now after this live is done, please follow me on all my social media accounts so that you can stay updated with my work. In case something happens to any of my pages, at least you will be following me in other pages. So Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Remember that, Treka Z. And like I said, I'm planning on really doing a podcast show, and it will be happening on at least once or twice a week. And I'll be having guests, and I'll be interviewing people, and be doing on a constant level with high quality camera, microphone, all of that. So with that, you guys can help donate on the PayPal link in the description. And I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Hopefully tomorrow I'll post a video, and I'll be making it more on a more consistent basis, because you know what? Treka, the troublemaker, is back, motherfuckers. Anyway, I love you all. Catherine, by the way, Catherine Wells, I love you so much. You are one of the oldest fans of mine. You've been following me from the beginning of the war, and I would never forget you and many others today in the chat. I feel so happy to actually see your names again and read your messages, and you know, I really appreciate all your support. You guys have always been supportive of me. You guys are very smart people, very awake, very knowledgeable, and we are always in the search for the truth. And that is why I feel like I am very lucky to have you guys as my followers, because I wouldn't have it any other way. I really wouldn't have it any other way. The amount of messages that I have received in this last week of people asking about me on the prayers, and people telling me, I hope Syria gets better. I heard you were sick. I hope you recover. Checking on you. We love you. We miss you. All of these messages, trust me, while I was sick in bed, I was reading them, and it was making me even recover faster and faster. So I just also, you know, want to make it clear that I also love and appreciate all of you guys. And you guys have been very supportive of me, and you know, you've been with me from the beginning. Like, since I used to go out on my balcony in Damascus and post videos of rockets falling. Remember those days? Remember those dark days? So yeah, like, I remember you guys were with me throughout all that mess, and you guys actually made living in the war easier, because even after all the bullshit I was going through on a daily basis, I would always look forward to talking with you guys again and doing a live video. And you know, you guys helped me in an indirect way to actually cope with all the bullshit that I had to go with. So for that, I really appreciate you guys, and we'll be doing more and more videos. This is just, I had to start with a live video to just tell you everything in a whole fucking package, just throw it all at you. And then beginning from tomorrow, I'll be going back to doing 5-minute videos, depending on the topics, to make it shorter, because you know, some people, their attention span, they can't watch a whole hour video. But if I break it down to segments and topics, and we would be able to spread the truth and spread more awareness more than, you know. So that's the goal, guys, and I love you all. Jules is asking, do you still have your cats? Yes, bro, I still have all my cats. They're still around. Belle, Sisi, Nusa. I brought them all with me. So you guys will be seeing more videos of Belle, Sisi, and Nusa. The cats. Oh my god. Takin is saying, I love your movie works also. Yes, next year there's gonna be like 3 to 4 movies on Netflix where I have actually acted in. So that will also be interesting. When the movies come out, I'll definitely update you guys on the movies. So yeah, I guess that's about it for now. And from my heart, I love you guys, and we'll keep in touch. Peace. Bye.